I didn't think he would win in conservative Alabama, but sanity and decency prevailed. Doug Jones is the first Democrat to win a Senate seat in decades. We're going to celebrate with an Irish dance party.
In Newry town I was bred and born, in Stephen's Green now I lie in scorn. Served my time at the saddler's trade, I always was a roving blade, I always was a roving blade. At 17 I took a wife, and loved her dearer than I loved my life, and so to keep her in fine array, I went out robbing on the King's Highway, I went out robbing on the King's Highway. I never robbed a poor man yet, nor lately caused anyone to fret, but I robbed lords and ladies bright, and carried the gold home to my heart's delight, and carried the gold home to my heart's delight. I robbed Lord Golding, I do declare, and Lady Mansell up in Grosvenor Square. I closed my shutters, bade them good night, and carried the gold home to my heart's delight, and carried the gold home to my heart's delight. Covent Garden I made my way, with my dear wife for to see a play. Lord Fielding's men did me pursue, and I was taken by that cursed crew, I was taken by that cursed crew. My father cried, my darling son, my wife she cried, now I am undone. My mother tore her grey locks and cried, it's in the cradle I should have died, in the cradle I should have died. When I am dead and in my grave, a flashy funeral pray let me have 6 highwaymen for to carry me. Give them broadswords and sweet liberty, give them broadswords and liberty.
Hurroo, hurroo, while on the road a sweet thigh, sticking me hand in and dropping me eye. A doleful damsel I heard cry, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hurroo, hurroo. Your drums and guns and guns and drums, hurroo, hurroo. Your drums and guns and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh darling dear, you look so queer, so mild, hurroo, hurroo. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurroo, hurroo? Where are the eyes that look so mild when my poor heart you first beguiled? Why did you run off from me and the child? Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hurroo, hurroo. Your drums and guns and guns and drums, hurroo, hurroo. Drums and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are the legs with which you run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are the legs with which you run? Hooroo, hooroo. Where are the legs with which you run when first you learned to carry a gun? Indeed, your dancing days are done. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. Your drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. Your drums and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, darling dear, you look so queer. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You're having a leg, hooroo, hooroo. You're having an arm and you're having a leg, hooroo, hooroo. You're having an arm and you're having a leg. You're an eyeless, boneless, chickenless egg. You'll be having to put in a bowl to beg. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. Your drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. Your drums and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, darling dear, you look so queer. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. I'm happy for to see you home, hooroo, hooroo. I'm happy for to see you home, hooroo, hooroo. I'm happy for to see you home off from the island of Ceylon. So low in the flesh, so high in the bone. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. Your drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. Your drums and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, darling dear, you look so queer. Johnny, I hardly knew ya.
old one to my old one, will you come to the waxy dargle? Said to my old one to your old one, sure I haven't got a farthing. I went down to Monto town to see Uncle McArdle, but he wouldn't lend me a half a crown to go to the waxy dargle. What will you have? Will you have a pint? So have a pint with you, sir. And if one of your doesn't order soon, you'll be tossed out of the boozer. Said to your old one to my old one, will you come to the Galway races? Said to my old one to your old one, for the price of the young lads' braces. I went down to Capel Street to the big man money lender, but he wouldn't lend me a couple of bob for the young boys' red suspenders. What will you have? Will you have a pint? Have a pint with you, sir. And if one of your doesn't order soon, you'll be tossed out of the loser. Said to your old one to my old one, we haven't any deep for mutton. Said to my old one to your old one, I'll tell you where to get fine mutton. Here's a nice piece of advice I got from an old fishmonger. When the food is scarce and you see the hearse, you'll know you've died of hunger. What will you have? Will you have a pint? Have a pint with you, sir. And if one of your doesn't order soon, you'll be tossed out of the loser. What will you have? Will you have a pint? Yes, I'll have a pint with you, sir.
Welcome to Alabama Politics for the Scots and Irish of Alabama. This is not much of a politics show today. I do have a little bit to say, but first off, I want to share the music that you heard. We started off with Jil Chambless with Newry Highwayman. I'm terrible about saying that. And Lexy McAskill from her album, The Ladies Go Dancing. Then came Johnny I Hardly Knew Ya by Marc Gunn and Jamie Haeuser from How America Saved Irish Music. Then the Rachra Polka Set by Mithril from The Return Home. And finally, Bourbon and Shamrocks with Waxy's Dargle from Shuck and R. Now, last night, Alabama had one of the highest voter turnouts in a long time. I heard it was over 30%, and that's just absolutely incredible. Jones won 50% of the vote over Moore's 48%, with over 20,000 more votes. And of course, the ungodly Moore refuses to concede victory and accept the fact that God does not know Lucifer's buddy Roy Moore. I think it's fair to say that after Roy Moore blamed America for turning away from God as the reason for 9/11, don't you think? We now have political evidence that everything said about him is true. Okay, I really don't believe that. I really don't believe God puts his hand in our politics, which is another reason why I'm glad the criminal theocrat Roy Moore lost. It is fascinating to look at the statistics from the race. The vast majority of Roy Moore supporters were white males. That's my category. White females came in a way too close second. It turns out it was the black vote that made the difference. Black voters showed up in droves. I think they accounted for 95% of the votes. 95% of the blacks voted for Jones. And it's been the highest turnout since 2012. There's nothing like, I guess, a civil rights lawyer, someone who stands up for people, not just my white majority, to really inspire a black vote. All of America and the world are super grateful. Thank you for voting. Now it's time to move forward. Up until now, I've focused on why Doug Jones is better than the laughable Roy Moore, but I haven't really dug into policy. Doug Jones says he wants to work with both sides of Congress. And I, for one, want to hold him to that, because while I definitely am leaning liberal, I am not a Democrat. I am a moderate. I believe we need Congress to work together if we were going to actually create good laws and create less division in our whole country. Yes, I believe healthcare is a basic human right. I don't think the ACA did a good job of that, but I do like the idea of universal Medicare to cover all of our basic healthcare needs. And then you can buy additional healthcare if you need it, but just basic. It should be a part of our country. It's intelligent. I believe improving our educational system is a necessity and will fix many of society's current problems. And that does not mean privatizing it, but that doesn't mean that public education is the only method. Again, this is a basic human right. I believe we need to protect our environment for future generations. And yes, that means slowing global warming. You can deny climate change all you want, but when the major scientists of the world say it's happening, I'm going to trust that. And guess what? Even if we are wrong and climate change isn't happening, well, then there's nothing wrong with protecting our environment, improving our air quality and water quality. It's just intelligent. So you may as well do it. I believe we do need tax reform. However, the current tax scam in Congress will not help. In fact, it will hurt our country, not just financially, but our politics as well, because we need to get money out of the political process. And basically, the whole tax program is appealing to the donors. That's what it's designed for. We should be raising our taxes on corporations. I'm talking like, go back to the 60%, what was in the 50s. And if they take their money and their business elsewhere, let's raise it to 90% and tax anything that they bring into our country. This is the only way we will reinvest this money back into the businesses, which will help the workers of the country, instead of being hoarded in the pockets of greedy CEOs like our waste of our president. There's a lot more, I believe, but this is supposed to be an Irish dance party. So let's get music. I'm just going to play music for the rest of the time. Next up is Kilted Kings, my band. From our album Name on My Soul, this is Marionette Jig and Spinner's Reel.
public house. We're planning to give him a chance one night. Went into the pub, a fireman ran, his face all chalky white. What's up, says Brown. Have you seen a ghost? Have you seen your Aunt Mariah? Me Aunt Mariah be buggered, says he, the bleeding pub's on fire. And there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping on the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came in knocking at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Oh well, says Brown, what a bit of luck. Everybody follow me. It's down to the cellar, the fire's not there, we'll have a grand old spree. So we went down after good old Brown, the booze we could not miss. And we had been there 10 minutes or so till we were all quite pissed.
But happy.
And there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping at the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came and knocked at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Then Smith walked over to the port wine tub, gave it a few hard knocks, started taking off his pantaloons like Wise's shoes and socks. Oh, no, says Brown, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that round here. Don't go washing your trousers in the port wine tub when we've got Guinness beer.
Words to live by.
And there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping in the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came and knocked at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Then there came through the old back door the vicar of the local church. And when he saw our drunken ways, he began to scream and curse. Ah, you drunken sod, you heathen clods, you've taken to a drunken spree. And he drank up all the Benedictine wine, and he didn't save a drop for me.
Catch you at the pub next week, Father?
Okay, and there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping in the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came and knocked at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Then there came an awful crash, and the bloody roof gave way. We was almost drowned in the fireman's hose, but still we was gonna stay. So we got some tacks and some old wet sacks. We nailed ourselves inside. We sat there drinking the finest rum till we was bleary-eyed. And there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came and knocked at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Later that night when the fire was out, we came up from the cellar below. Our pub was burned, our booze was drunk, our heads was hanging low. Oh, look, says Brown, with a look quite queer. Seems something raised his ire. Now we gotta get down to the Irish Dragoon, it closes on the hour. And there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping at the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came and knocking at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. And there was Brown, he was upside down, he was lapping at the whiskey on the floor. And Biz, Biz, the fireman cried as they came and knocking at the door. Well, don't let him in till it's all drunk up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic pissed when the old dun cow caught fire.
Herself up in the finest of clothes, and off to the shoemaker's shop sure she goes for a kiss in the morning early. The cobbler arose and he soon let her in. His awl and his hammer were neat as a pin, and he had goodwill for to greet her so slim with a kiss in the morning early. Oh cobbler, 'tis soon we'll be wed, and nestling together in a fine feather bed. So give me 2 shoes with 2 buckles of red for my kiss in the morning early. The maid maid hid the shoes at the back of her waist, and praised his good cobbling and shoemaker's taste. Then home to her father she mournfully faced, and it was in the morning early. Handsome as ever in leather did stand for my kiss in the morning early. The father was thinking and thinking again, for to wed her to riches and have them for kin. Who knows but it might be a prince or a king that she met in the morning early. Who knows but it might be a jobber from town, or a wealthy sea captain who sailed the world round. A man with some thousands and thousands of pounds that she met in the morning early. The father was smiling, his daughter embraced, but touching the buckles he drew back in haste. He spied the red shoes that were tied round her waist. Oh, it was in the morning early. Oh daughter, he started to shout when he did discover what she was about. God knows 'twas none but that cobbling old cloud that you met in the morning early.
Off for fun. I leaped down from heaven and I pounced on the earth. When I pounced my first mouse I had in my birth. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run under feet wherever you may be, and I'll leap on you in the pounce, said he. I pounced on the papyrus of the Egyptians. They wouldn't play, so I stole their feather pens. I pounced on the fish caught by James and by John. They fed me fish, then the pounce went on. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run under feet wherever you may be, and I'll leap on you in the pounce, said he. My head against the lane. Many people shook their head, said this feline was insane. I mean, after pouncing, do not think I am gone, for I just saw a rat, so the pounce goes on. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run under feet wherever you may be, and I'll leap on you in the pounce, said he. pounce on each of them. On the bedchamber floor I laid my carrion. Then I raced out the door and I pounced again. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run under feet wherever you may be, and I'll leap on you in the pounce, said he. So I leaped up high. I have 9 lives that will never, never die. I'll pounce on you, though you bark at me. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run under feet wherever you may be, and I'll leap on you in the pounce, said he. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run under feet wherever you may be, and I'll leap on you in the pounce, said he. Pounce, pounce, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the pounce, said he. I'll run
times ado. We're going away to the holy ground, and the girls that we all love true. We'll sail the salt seas over, and then return for shore. And still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. You're the girl that we do adore, and still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. And now we're out a-sailing, and you are far behind. My letters we will write to you with the secrets of our mind. The secrets of our mind, our girl. You're the girl that we do adore, and still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. You're the girl that we do adore, and still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. And now the storm is raging, and we are far from the shore. The poor old ship, she's a-sinking fast, and the riggings are all torn. The night is dark and dreary, and we can scarcely see the floor. And still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. You're the girl that we do adore, and still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. Safe and well, we're going down to Alvin's house, where we will drink like hell. We'll drink strong ales and porters, and make the rafters roar. And still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. You're the girl that we do adore, and still we live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are!
After Kilted Kings was Old Dun Cow by the Brobdingnagian Bards from the Holy Grail of Irish drinking songs. Then came Jil Chambless and Scooter Muse with A Kiss in the Morning Early and Leather Breeches from the Laverock Sang. Then a song by me, that was Lord of the Pounce from Irish Drinking Songs for Cat Lovers. Then came Scooter Muse with the Prawn Boats from his album Saddell Abbey. Then The Holy Ground by Bourbon and Shamrocks from their album Crack. Finally, Mithril with the Chicken Fingers in the Chapel from Tangled Up. I don't know, that seemed appropriate considering the whole religious context that people are trying to infuse into our politics, which just ticks me off. Separation of church and state. This is the way our country was founded. It's not going to help by inserting religion into politics. You're just going to make things worse. Well, I do not know the future of this podcast. I started it basically to help promote Doug Jones for senator and to defeat the lousy Roy Moore. And we've succeeded. So we made it. Thank goodness. So now it's time to figure out what's the future of this. I think I like having a place to rant on politics, even if I don't half the time know what I'm talking about. But that's okay. I'm going to probably keep this going in one form or another. We'll see what happens with it. I do want to thank all of the bands who allowed me to play their music this past couple months, because these people are awesome. Not only did they all vote for Doug Jones for senator, but they allowed me to use their music and share it with you. So I'm very ever grateful to them. If you enjoy their music, then go support these bands. Go buy some music, some of the swag, go see them at shows. They play all around Alabama. So go do that. If you have questions or comments, you can post them here in the show notes or in the comments section of wherever you're listening to this. You can also send me a tweet at Marc Gunn Music. And you can find a link to the show at alabamapolitics.libsyn.com. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to finish it off with Brobdingnagian Bards from their album Songs of Ireland. This is Rattlin Bog. I hope you enjoyed this Irish music party. I'll talk to you another time. Sláinte.
Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, in that bog there was a tree, a rattling tree with a tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, on that tree there was a limb, a rattling limb with a limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, on that limb there was a branch, a rattling branch with a branch and a limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, on that branch there was a twig, a rattling twig with a twig and the branch and the limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, on that twig there was a nest, a rattling nest with a nest and a twig and the branch and the limb and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. In that nest there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg with an egg in the nest and the twig and the branch and the limb and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. In that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird with a bird in the egg in the nest in the twig and the branch and the limb and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. On that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, a rattling feather, the feather in the bird and the egg in the nest and the twig and the branch and limb and the tree in the bog down in in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. On that feather there was a flea, a rare flea, a rattling flea, the flea in the feather, feather the bird, the egg, egg in the nest, nest in the twig, twig in the branch, branch in the limb, limb in the tree, tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. On that flea there was an eye, a rare eye, rattling eye, thigh, flea, flea in the feather, the bird, bird, the egg, egg in the nest, nest in the twig, twig in the branch, branch in the limb, limb in the tree, tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. On the dad there was a glimmer, gleam, 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 yeah, flea, flea, feather, the bird, bird, the egg, egg, twig down, tree, tree, bob out the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Way ho, the Rattlin Bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Thought I lost you there at the end, Mark.
You did.